preyed upon me when I'm weak. You saw for the one you didn't seek. Now that you can clearly see, there's an angel and beast within me. You preyed upon me when I'm weak.
I wasn't born bitter, I was born soft, with hands that soothed and healed, a voice that settled storms, and eyes that held hope like stained glass clinging to sunlight. But what happens when you've been given the shittiest hand and still end up being the giver who just gives? The takers take until there's nothing left but the echo of their own silence, and now they wonder why. My name is Mama, the backbone, the peacekeeper, the family fixer, the counselor, the situation healer, the one who wiped away all of their tears, sewed together all of their broken moments, and wore the weight of everyone's chosen chaos with a quiet strength. But the truth is, the ones I called family, the ones I bled out for, used my spirit as a landing foundation for their own broken pride. They built their comforts on the back of my blood, sweat, and tears, off of my sacrifices, but they never tell you any of that. Then have the audacity to call me ungrateful, say that I'm bitter, selfish, and spiteful, while secretly keeping to themselves what it was that they did that got us here, when I was the only one sacrificing. I've lived years beneath the suffocating shadow of the emotional projection from them, silently holding my truths, protecting those that I loved, but I can't do it no more. I won't. My family refuses to face the wreckage of their own choices, so they toss blame at me like bricks. Faulted me for the choices that they chose, left me to financially carry the weight that they chose to abandon. Every unhealed wound that they wore became a weapon used against me, and I was their war zone that they aimed to demolish. They called me too sensitive when I spoke of the hurt I felt behind the disrespect, the projection, and the toss blaming. Too strong-headed when I set up boundaries. Too dramatic when I would break down and cry into tears. Thirsty because I chose to stand up in instances that they were too coward to. In truth, they couldn't stomach their own reflection standing in the mirror next to my authentic character who was brutally honest. I wasn't angry. I was fucking exhausted. I wasn't cold. I was fucking scarred. I wasn't distant. I was fucking protecting what was good left within me from them. They didn't see that every time that I said that I'm fine. I whispered what was stitched together with prayers followed behind panic attacks. That I often laid in my bed gripping my own chest in disbelief, feeling like I'm dying, all the while still trying to silence the scream that no one else could hear from within me. Then I asked myself, how can I heal the infection that is in the root of my family when my family is the infection? I wore the pain of always being the one to stand up. I did what was right even when it costed me my belongings. I made the sacrifice every single time. I sacrificed myself to be the glue for everyone else. It started with sacrificing my own future, my own life, my own dreams to keep me and my siblings together when I was just 13. I kept silent for many years while feeding the ego of my children so that they can receive the love that I wanted them to receive and not the hate behind what it was that they seen others knowing what it was that they did to me. I wore my dignity like armor, walking into rooms of lives told on me, experiencing treatment I didn't deserve, and then silenced in my depression, but with my head still held high. And for that, they hated me because I was strong. Because see, dignity in the face of dysfunction is very dangerous. And when your light shadows theirs, you become in danger. And when I finally asked, why am I the only one fighting for this family? They responded with defamation of character, rumors of negativity, even violence. They used my brokenness as leverage. They dissected my vulnerability and wore it as proof that I was unstable. But I was the only one breaking because I was the only one who cared. I cried not because I was weak, but because I was hurt knowing their potentials and that I loved them more than they loved themselves, more than they loved me, more than they deserved to be loved by me. The venomous truth is, they wanted me to fail. They anticipated my downfall. They awaited my break. They couldn't wait to see me cry. They didn't just watch me fall. They purposely dug the pit, masked it with flowers, and stood at the edge with judgment in their eyes when I fell within it. And when I found the courage to claw my way out, bruised and bloody, with the taste of despair in my mouth, they called me selfish for getting up again and standing up again and leaving them in the mess behind. I wasn't quitting. I was within realizing. I wasn't surviving. I had survived. And survival, when surrounded by spiritual vultures, looked like betrayal to the ones with ill intentions who thought they could continue to mislead me and feed off my pain. Nope, not gonna happen. My absence stung them, not because they miss me, but because they now know that they lost the only one that cared. The one who was their scapegoat. They lost the only safety that they've always known. The fact of knowing that I'd always be there. The final goodbye wasn't loud. There was no argument. There was no explosion. No family meeting. Just a quiet packing of my damn bags. The physical ones. The emotional ones that had been packed away for many years awaiting this moment. I just left them letters. Not out of obligation, but out of informal closure for myself. I loved y'all more than y'all ever earned the love I gave. I fought for a family y'all never showed up for. And I've spent my life bandaging wounds I did not create while it's bleeding out within the wounds created by y'all alone. I am not abandoning anyone. I am for once choosing me. Call me a quitter. Call me the villain in your story. Call me whatever the fuck you like. You've already disrespected me for far too long, and I'm done being the only one. Just know that the day that I walked away was the day I finally walked away and saved my own damn life from you toxic motherfuckers. And with that, I walked out the only door I had ever known, leaving everything I ever loved and once lived for behind. My knees buckled once my foot hit the sidewalk, not because I regretted it, because I was leaving everything I loved behind. Even if it hurts you, even if it's toxic, it will somehow shatter you. Now I sit reflecting, holding tea with trembling hands, writing out my truths to share with the hopes that I can heal another who has walked in these same shoes that feels this way and feels alone. Expressing my truths through a cracked voice, that knowing that they made me feel like I was hard to love, that they made me feel broken for trying to heal myself. They expected me to drown with them. I now realize that. And when I swam to shore and saved my own self, they called me heartless. I've learned now that boundaries aren't betrayals. That being the only one doing right in a room full of wrongdoers doesn't mean that I'm crazy. It means that I'm the one that's courageous. That healing sometimes requires walking away from the very people you once lived for and would have even died for. I don't hate any of them. I'm disappointed by all of them. I just love myself now more than I see any of their approval. The expression I use now, I don't care, is a very powerful statement. I use it now because of how it was I was mistreated. Sometimes that's the most heartbreaking revelation.
Open like the ocean tide, echoes of freedom.